Allons enfants de la patrie, de toute gloire est arrivée. Montrez-nous de la vie alignée, les standards sanglants élevés, les standards sanglants élevés. Entendez-vous dans les campagnes mugir si féroces.
French Legion of Honor for World War II veterans, take one.
Hi, my name is Vincent Floriani and I'm the Consul General of France in Florida. So I represent the French government here. France is the US oldest allies. We have this Treaty of Amity and Commerce of 1778. The first French volunteers who came to the US were in 1776, and France contributed in money, in men, in armaments, in military leadership to the freedom of the US, the independence of America. America came twice to liberate France in 1917 and 1944. So we have been allied by that. We are together still allied. We are co-founders, France and the US, of NATO. Today we are fighting terrorism together in the Sahel region of Africa. So we are still working very close together. We are both nuclear power. We are both permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, and we work very closely. There are many, many cooperations, military cooperations. Yes, so the Legion of Honor is the highest French award. It was created in 1802 by Napoleon Bonaparte, and is known everywhere in the world. And it recognizes people who have done exceptional deeds, civilian or military, for France, in the service of France. On the 60th anniversary of the Normandy landing, the President of the French Republic decided to award the Legion of Honor to all American World War II veterans. And this is a strong gesture to show our gratitude, the gratitude of France, to these brave men who came at an early age, far away from their country, to free us from tyranny and to promote our common values. This award is for those who fought in France in the liberation of France on French soil. When we award the Legion of Honor, we recognize all veterans who fought in France for the liberation of our country. So the Legion of Honor has been awarded in Florida to about 1,600 World War II veterans. Among them, 4 came from Puerto Rico. It was also awarded to about 10 nurses who were part of the liberation of France on French soil. I'm really looking forward to the awarding of the Legion of Honor to Mr. Harold Granitur. He's a very brave man. He landed in Normandy on June 8, 1944. There was still combat when he landed. He was shot while helping some comrades, but he carried on. And then he went to eastern France. He was wounded again. So he's a very courageous man. For us, he's a hero, like other veterans who received the Legion of Honor. And it will be an honor for me to award Mr. Granitur this French award.
My name is Harold Granitur. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, and I was 1925, March 15th. I was drafted into the Army in 1943. I was in the 90th Infantry of the 1st Army when I went in. I was sent to Camp Van Dorn, Mississippi, the middle of nowhere. After boot camp, they shipped me up to New Jersey, getting ready to go into the war. So we waited around until they could put us on a ship, and they sent me over to England. When I made the invasion, I was in the First Army, and I went in on D-Day +2, that was the June 8th. Of course, everyone thinks that June 6th is the day of the invasion, but it depended on where you were supposed to be landing. And we were sitting out in the English Channel for 2 days waiting to get our orders to make our landing on the beach. So I landed on the beach on June the 8th. As far as I'm concerned, that was the first day.
Yes, you need to have fought in France, on French soil. It can be in the air as well, but you need to have fought in the Normandy landing, in northern France, in eastern France, in Provence as well. So these operations, battles in France, veterans need to have been part of this. They can show us military documents, such as honorable discharge. So they contact the French consulates. If they live in Florida or Puerto Rico, they contact us, and we process the application. The application is reviewed by our embassy in Washington, D.C., and by the administration in France, because Legion of Honor being such a high award, it needs to be reviewed before being attributed to someone. It can be attributed anywhere in the world, but well, in the U.S. at least. And in Normandy, of course, there were several ceremonies involving the President of France and the President of the U.S. together, every 10 years, actually, every 10 anniversary. So lastly, it was President Macron and President Trump together at a ceremony in Normandy. It's often very moving to all French people. I mean, the memory of these American soldiers landing in Normandy to free us from tyranny is still present in everybody's mind. We are grateful. We know that we have shared values, the democracy, freedom, equality, that are both in the American Declaration of Independence and the French Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizens. So we have these common values. We are allies, and it's important for French people to remember that when we were in need, when we were occupied by the Nazis, American soldiers came, risked their lives. Many of them died for our freedom. When we have these ceremonies in Normandy to express our gratitude to the American veterans, we often say "Vive l'amitié entre la France et les États-Unis." Long life friendship between France and the United States.
Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure. My name's retired Major General James Hammer Hartzell. I'm the Executive Director of the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs. I drove over from Tampa today to be here for this great occasion of recognizing one more of our 1.5 million veterans. This one's a very special veteran because he landed on June 8th in Normandy and then helped liberate France. And the Consul General of France is here to recognize him with a Legion of Honor. We've been able to do this for a number of our Florida veterans who participated in World War II in the liberation of France. And so it's just exciting for me when I heard that we have one more that was going to be recognized. I said, I'm getting in my car, I'm going to be here today for that veteran, because that's what's important about this. So I love getting to do this for our veterans, representing our great governor, Ron DeSantis, for everything that we love about our veterans in Florida.
Happy birthday again.
The man of honor here.
Yes, sir. I got your back. Thanks.
Hey, number one.
Dad, turn around. Hey! How's everything going? Excellent. Nobody's better than you today. We're going to call you Sir Howie. Oh, you're getting knighted today. Knighted? You're going to be knighted. No. Listen.
It becomes a knight.
The knighting.
Oh,
They're going to make you a knight. Call you Sir Howie. Dad, you sit here. So when's your next game? When's the first edition?
Good afternoon. Welcome to our residents, visitors, family members, and esteemed guests. I'm Erilyn Hicks, Executive Director here at Indian River Estates. We're most thankful to have you here today to honor our wonderful resident, Harold Granitur. I had a short conversation with Harold yesterday, and he was not moved by all of this at all. I did ask him a few minutes ago, are you a little more excited today than you were yesterday? He said he wasn't sure. So hopefully by the end of this special day, you'll know how special you are to so many. Several of us know you as being a resident here at Indian River Estates, but we have little knowledge of the great contributions that you made during your years in the service in the armed forces. So hopefully, by the end of the day, we will know how brave, courageous, and how much you've given us through your service. So with that, let's enjoy the rest of the program. We do have our Vice Mayor here, Ray Nevels, if you come up and say a few words.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute honor to represent the city of Vero Beach for such an important occasion. We always take great pride in honoring our veterans. As you well know, we have a memorial island over in the Indian River Lagoon that we have ceremonies there quite regularly. And very proud of that island and that resource. So the city of Vero Beach is honored to welcome Consul General Floriani. Thank you so much for being here with us, and so many other distinguished guests whom I didn't realize were going to be here. This is a large gathering, and it's worthy of being a large gathering because what we did during World War II was to save the democracies of the Western world, and everyone contributed. Some contributed more than others. Sir, you certainly contributed a great deal, and we thank you for that. The presentation of the French Legion of Honor is a truly worthy honor, but you've deserved it. So, and I just would point out, as a 26-year Air Force veteran myself, I fully understand the many sacrifices you undertook. So I'll not take any more of your time. I just want to say thank you again for all of you appearing here before us today and honoring this great veteran. Thank you, sir.
Please join me in welcoming Consul Vincent Floriani to the podium.
Thank you. Bonjour. I will speak in English, or try. Vice Mayor Ray Neville, thank you for your words and being here. Director Erin Hicks, thank you for hosting this important ceremony. I'm delighted with my colleagues to see that large parts of the local community, family members and friends, and many officials got together this afternoon to witness this important moment of recognition. I would also like to recognize Mr. James Hammer Hartzell here, Director of the Florida Departments for Veterans. Also, World War II veteran Harold Terrence is over there. Yeah. Mr. Terrence was also awarded the Legion of Honor in France by the President of the French Republic and in presence of President Trump. We also have Mrs. Aline Martin. She is an elected representative of the French citizens in Florida. And we have Major Alexine Hamelin, and Senior Chief Petty Officer Sophie Zanchetta. They both come from the French detachment at the U.S. Central Command in Tampa. Dear Mr. Harold Granitur, because we're here for you, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and privilege to be today with you in Vero Beach to pay tribute to Mr. Harold L. Granitur, a man who, at 18 years old, was ready to sacrifice his life for France and Western Europe. I'm also delighted to wish you a happy birthday. That was 2 days ago, and you turned 97, right? Congratulations, sir. Dear friends, we all have the duty to pass on the achievement of the men and women of the great generation. We are forever indebted to all of you for defending our freedom at the risk of your lives and the welfare of your families. I would like also to dedicate this special acknowledgement to all the American soldiers who, like you, Mr. Granitur, put their ideals, their might, and their courage to the service of democracy and the dignity of humankind. What happened more than 75 years ago, from the beaches of Normandy to Central Europe, was a defining moment for our modern history. A defining moment for both our countries and our long-standing relationship of trust and beliefs in common values, freedom, democracy, justice, and the dignity of human beings. These values are the core of who we are. France is the United States' oldest ally. The first French volunteers arrived here in 1776. That's over 250 years ago, almost. And the treaty of friendship of alliance between France and the US was signed in 1778. Twice, last century in 1917 and 1941, American soldiers restored freedom to my country, France. The French people will never forget what they owe America, our steadfast friend, partner, and ally. From Lafayette and Yorktown to the battlefields of the World War I and the shores of Normandy, our two countries have always stood shoulder to shoulder to defend and promote the values of freedom and democracy that are the core of who we are. Today, our alliance stands firm and our cooperation is as close as ever to address the major threats of our time. And the situation now in Eastern Europe reminds us that we need to remain united. A major coordination is run not far from here at the US Central Command, And I would like to salute again our two colleagues who came from Sencom, from Tampa, all the way to attend this ceremony. Merci beaucoup. Mr. Harold Granitur, as a private first class and a rifleman, you landed in France, as you said, on June 8, 1944. Heavy combats were still going on in the area, and you were wounded while rescuing one of your comrades, but you continued to fight. You had to shoot the low-flying German planes that were targeting you. And you participate in the liberation of Normandy and northern France. You kept fighting in the east of France with combats in Château-Thierry, Verdun, and Fort-Drian, and reached the Ardennes, the Belgian border, where you were injured a second time. On July 3rd, 1944, as we saw in the beautiful video, you volunteered to warn General Patton's troops of an enemy position that you had detected with your squad. The firing of one of their tanks wounded you. Yet again, despite your new injury, you helped another time a wounded US soldier. And if that were not enough, you added another act of bravery by convincing over 200 German soldiers who were hiding in a cave to surrender, as we see in the video. For your outstanding achievements, you have received numerous awards, including 2 Purple Hearts, the Bronze Star Medal for your heroic service, and the Combat Infantry Campaign First Award, just to mention some of your recognition. Thank you for your service, sir, and I think it deserves a huge round of applause. The victory over Nazi barbarism was made possible by courageous men like you. Dear Mr. Granitur, in recognition of your heroic actions and to show his gratitude, the President of the French Republic nominated you to the Legion of Honor. The Legion of Honor was created by Napoleon Bonaparte in 1802. This is the highest honor that France can bestow upon those who have achieved remarkable deeds for France. And I could not be more honored to present you with the Legion of Honor Medal today. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Merci. I know I have to say some official words in French. Monsieur Harold Granitur, au nom du Président de la République, je vous fais chevalier de la Légion d'honneur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
I would like to thank all of you for being here, first of all. I think this is a great honor for me, and I appreciate the fact that all these people whom I've never met before, but I appreciate that you're here, have come to pay me this great honor, which I hope I justly deserve. Thank you very much, and I wish you all a happy and wonderful new year. I feel that I was honored to be representing the United States of America. And I would do it again if I could.